Let's start off by stating that you and your wife are a team, but maybe you are having trouble developing an emotional bond with her. She does not appear invested in you or your life together. In fact, she seems detached and preoccupied. It may also seem like you are on your own and nobody is there to help. Does this ring a bell? As a first step, please realize that you are not alone and you have options for getting help, whether this is brand new or has been an issue for a long time within your relationship. We want to address 10 warning signals that your wife may be emotionally distant, and we will also share with you how you can help to repair whatever is broken so that the two of you can reconnect. 1. She is physically unavailable. Physically avoiding one's partner and any potentially awkward conversations is a common strategy for persons who are experiencing emotional disconnection. Despite our hectic schedules, job, school, friends, kids, it's critical to make time for each other in a marriage. It may be something as easy as going out to supper for two or watching a favorite show on TV. Your wife should be able to spend time with you without feeling the need to beg or coerced into it. Although it's normal for spouses to have hobbies apart, if your wife suddenly becomes obsessed with things that have nothing to do with you, it could be an indication that she is trying to distance herself from you. 2. She avoids confrontation. Doesn't it seem like a positive thing when there is no conflict? It is not always the case, depending on the reasons why there is no confrontation. If you and your partner are getting along well and your relationship is emotionally satisfying, then you wouldn't be here looking for answers if you didn't have any disagreements. Instead, there is no conflict in your relationship since your wife has no interest in resolving any issues that may arise. 3. She avoids other types of relationships. Some of your wife's relationships are more difficult than others. Not only does she avoid her family, but she also doesn't have many close friends. She might claim to be comfortable being alone, and there's a grain of truth to that. Some people thrive in isolation and don't need much company. Another trait of this type of person is their openness about how emotionally disconnected they are. No matter what your wife says, a good relationship is still possible. It may just require a little more effort on your part. 4. She is mainly interested in superficial discussions. Your wife may be emotionally withdrawing if you're having trouble getting a response beyond fine in even the most superficial of conversations. Regardless of how bad things are in your relationship or her life, she will be quite reluctant to discuss them. Also, she doesn't care about how you're feeling or what you think. Whatever makes you happy, or upset, or your day at work, she has no interest in hearing about it. She will avoid, disregard, or even become furious if you attempt to converse with her, particularly over her estrangement. Fights are inevitable as a result, but your emotionally detached wife may fail to perceive or comprehend the source of your anger. If your wife undergoes a dramatic change in personality like this, it could seriously strain your marriage. An emotionally detached woman may criticize your every move and lash out, even when you don't deserve it. 5. You seem to be the only one putting in any real effort. You may feel like you're putting in all the effort to keep your marriage afloat, but relationships aren't always that easy. Things are bound to go awry if your wife is emotionally unavailable. Since she isn't enthusiastic about making an attempt, the relationship has little chance of succeeding. But don't give up just yet. Keep in mind that not every emotionally distant wife exhibits all 10 of these characteristics. You can take some action to salvage your marriage if you're serious about doing so. 6. She expresses no affection. This signal could be difficult for people who like physical touch. From sexual encounters to small gestures of affection, your wife has a hard time being intimate with you. Two people should be able to lean on and encourage one another in a marriage. Intimacy plays a role in that. In the bedroom and beyond, that is essential to a happy marriage. Loving touches like a gentle pat on the arm, an embrace, or even the simple act of reaching for a favorite dessert demonstrate affection. Your wife won't put in the extra effort if she doesn't feel emotionally invested. Your displays of affection will go unnoticed at times and your wife will just accept a gift without showing any emotion or even ignoring your attempts at intimacy. It is natural to feel like your wife doesn't care about you and rejects you. 7. Her emotional support is coming from a different place. Do not freak out. This does not necessarily mean that your partner is having an affair, though it can sadly lead to one. It's likely that your wife is getting help from close relatives and friends instead of you. Emotions are universal, and most people feel the need to share them with those around them. The ideal relationship consists of two people who emotionally support one another and work together to solve issues. Nonetheless, when your wife needs help from someone else, she doesn't consider you to be her top choice. You could both benefit from seeking treatment together. The experts at the popular couples coaching program Relationship Hero are objective third parties who could aid you. 8. Her confidence has dwindled. Once outgoing and self-assured, your wife is now distant and doubts her own judgment. Her interactions with everyone from children to bosses to family members may reflect this. Like avoiding conflict, she no longer feels capable and prefers not to deal with it. Even while critiquing herself, she finds fault with herself and refuses to look on the positive side. 9. She doesn't care about how you feel. It is often believed that men are less emotionally intelligent than women. But that shouldn't stop your life partner from acknowledging your sentiments. Although your emotions are genuine, a person who is emotionally distant can brush them off or think they're too strong. The worst that can happen is that they may try to insult you simply because you are emotional and trying to show it. Your wife may be having difficulty empathizing with you. As a result, she may dismiss your feelings as exaggerated or sensitive and choose to ignore or downplay them. 10. Your faith in her seems to be lacking. Feeling uneasy in your relationship can make it hard to trust your partner. Your thoughts are filled with inquiries regarding her devotion and love for you. Your wife may either completely disregard or downplay your feelings if you bring it up in conversation. You can experience heightened feelings of hurt and resentment if your wife declines to attempt to heal your relationship. Although trust is essential in every relationship, it can be difficult for couples to overcome. Lonely people hide their emotions. If your wife suddenly turns you off, investigate why. Is she worried about a new baby, or a dying loved one? Have her employment circumstances changed? Do financial or medical difficulties overwhelm her? The departure of your wife's emotions can be fixed if you know why. This may mean you need to temporarily take on her load, or it could mean sitting with her and letting her vent. Ask if she needs advice or just wants to vent, and if she just wants to rant, listen without responding. It could be difficult to have a frank discussion with your wife if she is protective and avoids arguments because she feels emotionally disconnected. On the other hand, your marriage will collapse if you start to act distantly like she does. Talk about your relationship, how you feel about it, and your goals for it. Recognize that there may have been mistakes or difficult conditions on both sides, but refrain from assigning blame. Husbands, be the bedrock for your wives and reassure them that they can let down their guard around you, that it is perfectly fine to be as emotional as she needs to be, in order to find comfort in whatever she is dealing with. Remember, every relationship is unique, and progress may take time. With patience, empathy, and mutual commitment, you can bridge the emotional gap and rediscover the closeness that initially brought you two together in the first place. Thanks for watching Motivate My Marriage. Please, be sure to like, subscribe and share.